Hello everyone, welcome to Messy Church. This is the third Messy Church that we've done online, and hope you really enjoy what we've got for you today. The first thing we're going to do is an experiment, and what you need to do, and I hope you will all do this, is you need a piece of blank paper and something to draw with. So it's a piece of blank paper and something to draw with. What you can do is you can pause the video now as you go and get your paper. So what you need to do is you need to draw this picture. Now I'm going to describe this picture to you that Anne has drawn, okay? So you need to draw this. So in the top right hand corner you need to draw not quite a circle, a little bit off circle. So now you've done that, you need to draw 7 smaller circles within that. Okay, hope you've got that. So now what we need to do is you need to draw a rectangle which goes from the bottom left hand corner towards that circle. That's great. On top of that circle, at the end of it, you need to, on top of that rectangle, at the end of it, you need to draw 2 smaller rectangles. And now you've drawn those 2 smaller rectangles, you need to draw a triangle attached to the 2 smaller rectangles. Now at the other end of the rectangle, that's the one towards the bottom left hand corner, you need to draw a smaller rectangle, the same as the ones that you drew on the other end. Right, now underneath the rectangle, so we're going towards the bottom left hand corner again, you need to add a smaller triangle. And now what you need to do, underneath that smaller triangle, you need to draw 4 straight lines pointing down from the triangle towards the bottom left hand corner. Now you need to draw 2 triangles, and they need to be one on the left and one on the right of the rectangle, the big rectangle, at the bottom end of it. And now, to finish off, you need to draw 3 what look like ring donuts inside the rectangle. So by now, you should have the same picture that Anne drew, okay? Are you ready? How much does yours look like this? We'll come back onto that later. We're going to do some following today, and we're going to go over now to Claire. Claire has made us 2 brilliant things before. I really love the flatbreads last time, and we're going to see what Claire's got for us today. So it's over to Claire's kitchen.
This time we are going to make some spice biscuit Rocky Road. So you will need 200 grams of white chocolate, 50 grams of toffee popcorn, about 70 grams of little marshmallows, 70 grams of the spice biscuits, and 100 grams of spice biscuit spread. Some of the stuff is branded, but it doesn't actually matter. You can use posh stuff or you can use the supermarket's own. Doesn't matter at all. Your first job is going to be to melt your chocolate. Now I've already started doing that in the pan. I've put the chunks of chocolate in with 100 grams of the spice biscuit spread. So if you put that in a bowl above some simmering water, and then you just gently move it around until everything starts to melt. And it shouldn't take more than a couple of minutes.
Just gently, you don't want to have it too hot, you don't want the water to stop in the pan, or that will burn the chocolate and it will taste awful. So just make sure there's only a little bit of water at the bottom, and it just gets the steam to touch the bowl. I'll probably need it a bit more than I should, but that's the way it looks.
So your next job then is going to be to get a chopping board and chop up your popcorn into smaller pieces. I'll get my popcorn out of there. Just want a little bit of chopping, nothing too much, just so it's a little bit easier to mix in. Okay. Be careful of your fingers. They're quite important. It's nice if you've still got some big bits, but just not too big. Now, some of the pieces about half of a popcorn size would be good, and the others just a little bit smaller. Oh, that's lost one, never mind. Just keep going. I'm going to stop and give chocolate a little stir. Looks as though it's starting to melt along the bottom. That's good. And it's nice where the biscuit spread melts in. Looks a bit like caramel. This is a really nice and easy recipe that, if you need to, you can actually swap things out. If you don't like popcorn, don't put it in. If you don't like marshmallows or you're vegetarian, you can change that for something else. Maybe, oh, I don't know actually. Perhaps more popcorn. Or some general vegetarian sweets. There we go. That's all just chopped up a little bit. Give the chocolate another stir. There we go. It's starting to look really nice. So just leave that alone again. And your next job is to break up your biscuits. I'm just going to use my fingers and snap into about 5 or 6 pieces each biscuit. That's all. My hands were nice and clean. Did give them a good wash. All good. There. It doesn't take long at all. It takes only a minute or two. That sounds like the water's getting a bit too bubbly, so just turn that down a little bit. Yeah, that's nearly there now. Almost all melted, just a few little lumps in there. By the time we've finished the biscuits, it will almost be ready. Now, let's see. Oh, really close. Now, some recipes say you can put a little tiny bit of butter in with your chocolate as well, and that helps it to be nice and smooth. Now that is entirely up to you. I don't think it makes a huge amount of difference, but if you prefer it, you can put it in. There you go, now that's looking nice and caramelly in colour. Gorgeous. And remember, just check the bottom, make sure that it's not burning on the bottom. Just carefully move it around. Now that looks as though there's no real lumps anymore. That's just one or two. They should melt on their own. So, very carefully. Now I've used my pan with handles so it's easier to lift. And I have got quite heat sturdy hands. But if you need to, use a kitchen towel or some oven gloves to lift it out. There you go, that's nice and smooth. Now it's really, really easy. You just put everything in. Add your popcorn. Oh, I really hope this bowl is now big enough. It was the other day when I did it, but it seems so much smaller today. There we go. Oh well, the dog will enjoy that later. Just give it a good stir. Make sure everything gets combined and covered in that chocolate. Be careful not to tip too much over the edge. Now keep going. You want to make sure that everything has got just a little bit of chocolate covering it so that it sticks together. And the marshmallows are starting to melt a little bit as well, so that helps it to stick. When it's cool, you want to see that there's a bit of chocolate on everything. Okay, and I think that's quite well combined now. So I've got just a loaf tin and I've got just a paper liner, but you can use cling film or tin foil or parchment paper, whatever you've got in the house. And then you just put your mix in and gently smooth it down. Then is the really difficult bit. You have to leave it to set for 2 or 3 hours is best. And if you've got room in the fridge, it can go in the fridge. If you haven't got room in the fridge, it doesn't really matter. It will soon set, it just take a little bit longer. And that is Spice Biscuit Rocky Road.
Well, thank you, Claire, for doing that for us, and I hope we're all going to have a go at doing that ourselves. Now we're going to go over and we're going to look at a sketch, and I've got no idea when I recorded this what was going to happen, so it's over to the Madam's household and Madam's manor.
Hi. Hi. Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
See me?
Can you see me?
Yeah. Good. Okay.
Video chat.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, considering all this social distancing and stuff, it's a shame when we can't be together. Anyway, thing is, I've sent you a message about doing a bit of an art project. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got the message.
got the message. Got some stuff together. That's
Everything
good.
prepared.
Yeah. What I thought is
Ready
it's
to go.
so difficult to come up with a sketch for a messy church, with the being in different places sort of thing.
Yeah,
So
lockdown and everything.
yeah, so I thought, well, maybe we do something, and then people can sort of watch it and maybe have a go later. We can put it on the messy church video. So I think we'll get cracking on. I don't want to spend too long on it, so. I'll tell you what, if I do something and you follow me and, we'll take it from there, yeah,
Cool.
so, yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so the first thing is get a bit of a light coloured paper, yeah,
Yeah.
and get some oil pastels. Did you find some oil pastels?
I did in my old art stuff. Yeah.
Excellent, right, we'll get them. Get about half a dozen, something like that, or 6, whichever you like. Put them together in a clump in your hand, and then we'll do some, as big a circle as you can manage, really, on the sheet of paper. Big circles. You can do it right round, or you can do it in...
It's like a rainbow.
Yeah, really nice. Well,
Very
mine's not
blue.
like a rainbow because half of them aren't working. But yeah, that gives you an idea. Nice big circles in all bright colours. You can do them over the top. Okay, so that's the first idea. You managed to do that? Yeah.
That's really cool. Different things.
Yeah, you could do these we can do these later. I just want to whip through the ideas really.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
second thing is, did you manage to cut some strips of different colour
so,
paper?
Yeah, I've got a few different ones. Yeah.
Well, what I thought was you get about just over halfway along and fold them over at 90 degrees. So you get
How
fold
many?
like that. Well, a couple, 2, 3. You can do as many as you like, really, but just for now, do a couple. And they make a nice, you can make a frame, a picture frame, or you can put them to. You can make them a bit like roofs of houses, really, if you put loads on together. Yes. Oh, you pulling faces.
Wow, have to.
There you go.
Frame.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the second one. Third one. I sent you a thing, didn't I? I don't know whether you remember. I saw this Japanese artist called Hokusai, the guy who did that wave that's very famous. He also did a thing of Mount Fuji, and what I've done is you get a light coloured sheet of paper.
Yeah, so I drew some mountains.
That's
like
it.
you said,
Yeah, drew the mountains. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So and just get an oil pastel and colour them in from the top, and it's like a sort of bit of a stylised mountain, really. Yeah, I did one there a little earlier.
Okay.
So just to give you an idea,
further, but
yeah. I mean, on his he had like some little trees at the bottom and things, maybe a bit of snow on it or something. But it was, but it's just a sort of little, a little tribute to him, really. So you managed to get a bit of colour on yours for that.
Yeah, put a bit of green on the bottom as well.
Yeah, oh, cool. Yeah, that's fine. That's no problem. Okay, so and another idea, if you're finished with that, well, we can do it. Tidy it up later.
Yeah.
Another idea, and this is when I went a bit Blue Peterish on this one, and did I got one that I made earlier. But if you get a couple of those strips that we cut, right?
Ooh. Yeah, not those ones.
Which ones?
Not those. Different.
No, yeah, it's some other
The ones
ones.
with the cuts at the top.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, cut those. Yeah, I said to cut some slots in them, didn't I?
Yes. Yeah.
And then what you do, you turn one at 90 degrees to the other, like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then so you weave them in between, over and under each one.
Over.
I did one earlier just so you can see. Look, so you can get an idea of what it's like.
Oh,
So I think
cool.
that's
I like
quite
that.
nice. I like these two colours as well. I think
Yeah.
that's quite cool. So you could do that, weave them together. Don't worry if it's if you haven't finished it, because we need to move on, really. It's just a shame, really, though, that we've done these things. We're going to create these art things, and we can't really display them.
Yeah, I know.
I had this idea, see, of putting them all up on the wall, because out the back of the garden we've got this. That's it, lovely, yeah. Out the back we've got this white wall, and there's not much on there, so I thought we could probably use it, blue tack these things on there, and be quite a nice thing to do, really. But
nice. It's a shame.
because you're there and I'm here, and we
Yeah.
can't sort of get together, it's a bit awkward, really.
Yeah, it's a bit of funny time.
Yeah, it is really. But I'll tell you what, it would be nice if you could just come on over and bring them, and we could put them up on the wall together.
Yeah.
Do you think we could do that?
I mean, I could pop over sometime
Yeah.
and bring them.
Well, could you come round now?
Yeah, I could come now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, please. Yeah,
Yeah.
why not? Yeah, because so we can do it sort of before it gets dark. We can put them up on the wall.
Yeah,
What do
can
you
do.
think?
Yeah. So
You
I'll see you in
Come
a
on
minute.
round now. Yeah.
Okay. I'll see you in a minute.
Okay.
Ow. Oh. Whoops, sorry.
Oh, Evangeline,
What?
you're ruining the whole thing now.
No, they haven't noticed. It's fine. It's fine.
You think
They
they're-
haven't noticed. No,
No,
it's
I don't
fine.
think they were noticed. Cool. Okay. Here we go.
Yep.
Follow me.
Thank you for that. That was great. It's time that we did some craft. This time we're going to do what Anne's got for us, and this time she'll actually be showing you what we're going to be making. So it's over now into Anne's craft room.
Today's craft, you need to follow my instructions and to make a bendy fish like this one. Now then, what you need for this is any piece of paper, perhaps a different colour for its tail, it's up to you, a marker pen, a pair of scissors and some glue. The first thing you need to do is to make a square out of your paper. So fold it into a triangle. Like so, and just cut off the bottom bit, but don't throw it away. You might want to use that in a few moments. Open it out. Now we're going to make a kite shape. Fold the corner into the centre line and do the same to the other side. So it looks like that. Open it out and now make a triangle like so. So then you can see the line, and this is where your cutting line is going to be. So with the folded edge at the bottom and this line, you're going to cut up, just snip up to this line, starting at about 3 centimetres in, and just cut up to that line. Keep cutting until you've got about 3 centimetres left on the top line. Now you're going to open it out. Now what you're going to do is to glue one of those triangle flaps. And then bend it round. So it looks like that. So you've got your cutting pieces there and your sticky bit at the bottom. Now you're going to take what it's going to be his nose and you're just going to square it off. So just cut a small triangle off so it makes a straight edge for his nose. So that's the main body of the fish done. Now you can either use what you've cut off or a different colour. What I did for the tail was to draw a heart and cut it out. Doesn't have to be too accurate. And then you can stick up. some glue on the end, stick it on the end, like so for his tail. Make it what size you like. And then for the fins, I just drew 2 oval shapes. Again, cut those out. And glue them on. But you don't have to make oval shapes, you can choose your own shape to make the fins out of. Like so. So there's his tail and his 2 fins. Now all you need to do with your marker pen, or if you have some wiggly eyes, you could use those, I suppose. Just draw two eyes on him. Now for the bottom part, for his bottom of his mouth, what I did, I used the same colour, but that again is up to you, and just kind of cut a tongue shape, I suppose, out like so. Put some glue on it. So that just creates the bottom of his mouth, and there you have your moving fish. After you've done the first one, you can experiment with all different sizes and see what you can come up with. I made a middle-sized one, and of course you can use any sort of paper as well for this. So have fun, just enjoy it and create, see what you can create. And even I went tiny, I made a little baby one. See how small you can go. Okay, enjoy the craft for this time, have fun.
Thank you for that, and I hope everybody will have a go at doing that at home. We're going to think about the subject today of Jesus meets, because we've been looking at that over the last few messy churches, and today we're going to look at the subject of Jesus meets Peter. Peter was one of the earliest disciples of Jesus, one of the first ones that he called, and he's one of my favourite disciples, arguably my most favourite maybe, because I can see myself sometimes in him in so many ways, and I think that probably, if we're honest, all of us can see a little bit of ourselves in Peter. So today we're going to look at Peter, and Peter following Jesus, because what I want us to look at is the subject of follow me. Now, if I talk about followers, what a lot of people think about today is Twitter or Facebook. How many people are following? Okay, if you say I follow this person, it's often on Twitter. I'm going to show you 4 pictures, and I want you to decide, who do you think has got the most followers on Twitter out of these 4 people? So first of all, is it Ollie Murs? Okay, Ollie Murs. Remember, you're thinking about who's got the most followers on Twitter. Secondly, we've got Harry Kane. If you don't know who Harry Kane is the England football captain. Okay, Harry Kane. Thirdly, we've got somebody who I'm pretty sure you will all know, Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister. Okay, so this is Boris Johnson's Twitter, his own Twitter that we're looking at. And finally, how about these two? Would it be Ant and Dec? Okay, so who's got the most followers on Twitter, do you think? So we've got Ollie Murs, Harry Kane, Boris Johnson or Ant and Dec? Well, we're going to start at the least, and the least followers on Twitter is Boris Johnson, who has got 2.8 million followers on Twitter. Next, we've got Harry Kane, just above Boris Johnson on 2.9 million. In third place, will it be Ant and Dec or will it be Ollie Murs? Well, in third place is Ant and Dec, quite surprising to me, 6.8 million. And the one who's got the most followers on Twitter, is Ollie Murs, 7.2 million followers on Twitter. Now, who do you think has got the most followers on Twitter? Well, I had a look and it's this person. Somebody, maybe you wouldn't have guessed this, it is Barack Obama. And Barack Obama, that's him when he was president, he's not now of course, has got 118 million followers on Twitter. But I don't think Barack Obama ought to get too confident in that he's the most, because I looked at how many people claim to be Christians in the world and it would say that Jesus has got 2.3 billion followers. So follow me, said Jesus. Going to think about Peter. Peter was a fisherman, and there was a day when he was out with his brother Andrew, and Jesus came along and met them. And Jesus said to them, follow me. Now, it's pretty sure that Peter had already met Jesus before, but we find that Peter and Andrew left their nets, because they were fishermen, and followed Jesus. And Jesus said to them, I will make you fishers of men. Now, when I was in Sunday school, I used to think that was really funny, because I thought it was fishers as in little fish. So I thought he was going to make us into fish. But no, it's fishers of men. And really it means just to catch people instead of fish. They were going to catch people and bring them into God's kingdom. Not bring them into a boat, but bring them into God's kingdom. So that's important because God had a job for them to do. Now, they will be really important words for Peter. Follow me. Jesus was a great teacher. And in those days, people who were going to follow a teacher would choose who they would like to follow. And they would say, can I be one of your followers? And they'd probably say something like, I'll be really loyal, I'll listen to what you say, I'll do what you say, I won't go off following anyone else. I'll be a good listener. But Jesus said, follow me. And Peter and Andrew were just fishermen. They were no one special, but Jesus told them, follow me. You see, it was nothing about them, it was all about Jesus. When you were trying to get somebody to say, can I follow you? You would say why you think that you should be allowed to follow. But this is different. Jesus said, you follow me. What did Jesus say? What did Jesus mean as he said that? He meant things like stay close to him, learn how he did things, watch how he reacted to situations, understand how Jesus, understand who Jesus was, feel the love in Jesus. The next time that we think about those words is 3 years later. Now, Peter and Andrew with the other disciples did follow Jesus. They had a fantastic 3 years. Sometimes it wasn't always easy for them. Sometimes Jesus challenged them. But it was a fantastic 3 years. And they saw Jesus healing people. They saw him doing miracles. They saw him doing brilliant teaching. They spent 3 years, following Jesus and learning from him. But then, just before Jesus came to that time when he was going to die, he told the disciples that he said, I'm going to go away, I'm going to be taken away, I'm going to suffer and I'm going to die. And Peter said, that's never going to happen to you, Jesus. I am willing to come with you. I'm willing even to die for you. And Jesus said, Peter, are you sure? He said, Peter, I'm going to tell you the truth, that what's going to happen is that you're going to say 3 times that you don't even know me. Peter must have been heartbroken at that. He said, no, Lord. No, Lord. Well, to cut a long story short, Jesus did suffer, he did die, he was taken away. And Jesus, exactly what he said about Peter happened. 3 times people came up to Peter and said, "You're one of the followers of Jesus." 3 times Peter said, no, not me. And then Jesus died. So, had it all come to nothing? What's with this following Jesus? Well, Jesus came back to life. And I wonder how Peter felt then. I wonder how Peter felt. What's Jesus going to say to me? Well, several times he met Jesus, but there was a time when Peter and the other disciples, or some of them, Peter said, "I'm going to go out fishing." And so the other disciples went with him. Some of them did in the boat. And as they were coming back to the shore, they saw somebody there, and Jesus was on the shore. And Peter realised that it was Jesus, and so he jumped out of the boat and he ran when it was near enough to the shore to meet Jesus. And Jesus cooked them breakfast, and they had this meal, and then Jesus spoke to Peter by himself, kind of took him to one side maybe. And he said, "Peter, do you love me?" I wonder if Peter thought, what's he going to say to me? Is he going to say, "Peter, you really let me down. Peter, what happened to following me? You can't do that now." But he said, "Peter, do you love me?" 3 times he said, "Do you love me?" Peter, he was hurt by the fact that Jesus asked him 3 times. I wonder if it reminded him the 3 times he'd said he didn't know Jesus. 3 times, "Do you love me?" "Jesus, you know that I love you." And then Jesus said to him, "Feed my sheep and follow me." I was thinking about that. The first time he met, he said, "I'll make you fishers of men." He gave them a job. He gave Peter a job, and now he's saying, "Feed my sheep. Take care of my church," he's saying. He gave him a job. The first time he met him, "Follow me." And now he's saying again, "Follow me." I think he's kind of saying, "Peter, let's start again. Peter, follow me." Today, Jesus is still saying to us, "Follow me." He's still saying, learn from him. The first thing you've got to do is trust him as your saviour. But then to follow him. You know, I've followed him now for well over 40 years, and it's something that I've never regretted. Does he need to say that to me again? Didn't he say it 40 years ago? Yes, he did, but I need to hear those words and to think about that every day. Follow me. Learn from me. Think like I think. Act like I act. Love like I love. You know, we did that experiment at the beginning, and you probably wanted to ask some questions. You probably wanted to say, well, how big does the piece of paper need to be? You might have wanted to say, well, where does this circle go? Where does this triangle actually fit? What was the best thing you could have done? Now, I've tried to explain it, and I've tried to talk to you about following Jesus. But the best thing you could have done was sat with Anne. The best thing you could have done is sat next to her, and as she did it, you'd go along and do it the same. And the only way to follow Jesus is to sit with him, to be with him, to spend time with him every day of every week, of every month, of every year. Jesus is still saying, follow me. I'm going to say a prayer. Please join me. Dear God, thank you for Peter. Thank you that you met him and you said, follow me. And Lord God, I pray that each one of us who are watching this, wherever we are, however old we are, Lord, I pray that we'll have enjoyed this time together, but we'll think about that, about following you. Think about that experiment. The best thing would have been to sit next to the person who did it. The only way to follow Jesus is to sit with him, as it were, and to do what he does, to learn from him. Father God, we thank you for being with us today. Amen. Well, we're going to have a song now, and it's a song about following Jesus, and it's a challenge. It's called The Summons. It's a song that I really like this song. Will you come and follow me if I but call your name? And in it, it's really challenging. So if you know it, you might want to sing along to it, but read the words. It's really challenging about what it means to follow Jesus. Well, it said there, I will go where I don't know and never be the same. It's been great to have you with us at Messy Church today. Can I just remind you, every Sunday we're on YouTube. We call it WWW, Weekly Words from the Wes. You can find a link on Facebook, or you could just go into YouTube, search Wes Church, and you'll find it there. We're going to be back for Messy Church, hopefully in July. It would be great if we could be together in the hall, but I really don't think we will be. So we'll be back here online Messy Church. Thanks so much for being with us. Have a safe and a great month. Goodbye.